back to 5-Minute Fridays. I am just about to start my 5-minute workout for today, but I really don't feel like doing anything strenuous today. So we're doing something a little bit different today. Instead of doing some kind of high intensity interval training routine like we normally do for 5-Minute Fridays, we're going to just be focusing on stretching today. So really this is just going to be a little 5-minute stretching routine. You guys know that I'm always telling you how flexibility and mobility are, in my opinion, two very often overlooked and undervalued aspects of your overall fitness level, and I'm guilty of that as well. I do train mobility. If you guys follow my workouts regularly and you're familiar with my mobility Mondays, you know that every Monday we do a new mobility challenge after the workout. And after every single workout, I'm always telling you guys about the importance of making sure that you're taking a good 15-20 minutes or so to stretch every day. And I do practice what I preach. However, stretching is still really probably where I'm weakest. I'm not very flexible, and even though I do take time to stretch every day, it's definitely something that I could work on more, and I don't think I'm alone. So if you feel like stretching is something that you need to do more of, if you feel like flexibility is maybe one of your weaker suits as it pertains to your overall fitness level, and it's something that you would like to improve, then I hope you will join me for this little 5-minute stretching routine. All you're going to need is something soft beneath you, so grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, maybe a towel will suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything. If you are a beginner, also go ahead and have a chair close by, or a stool, or the arm of your couch, a park bench, a plyo box would be great. Any kind of elevated surface that is strong enough to support your weight, sturdy enough that it's not going to collapse or break or fold up when you put weight on it, and stable so that it is not going to slide from underneath you when you put weight on it. So I'm just using this dining room chair, but any number of elevated surfaces will work as long as they are strong, sturdy, and stable enough to be used safely. And then if you're a beginner, you might also want to have something like this. I just grabbed a couple of seat cushions. A throw pillow would probably also work. If you have yoga blocks, that would be great as well, or an aerobic step would be another great option. But basically, we're going to be down here doing pikes as part of our stretching routine, and if you can elevate your booty a little bit, it's going to make it a lot easier to get into this stretch. So you may or may not need something to kind of give you a boost, but if you have something that you can use the way I'm using these seat cushions, you'll want to go ahead and get that ready as well if you're a beginner. I'm not going to do a whole tutorial today because it's going to be very easy to just kind of talk you through the stretches as we are going. So if you're ready to go ahead and start this little 5-minute workout / stretching routine with me, here's what's going to happen next. We're going to start with a 5-minute warm-up routine first, because you never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles. It's really important to make sure that you're taking a couple of minutes to warm up your muscles before you begin stretching, because warm muscles are more pliable. So if you think of your muscles as being kind of like a piece of dry spaghetti, and if you go to stretch it, you pull on it and try to stretch that dry piece of spaghetti, at best, nothing's going to happen, but at worst, you might snap it and it might break right in half because it is not pliable. So if you take that piece of spaghetti and you warm it up in some boiling water, now all of a sudden your piece of spaghetti is nice and loose, and you can move it around, you can manipulate it, you can pull it and stretch it. So that's kind of the way you want to think of your muscles. Think of your cold muscles like that dry piece of pasta. So in order for us to be able to stretch them safely and effectively, they need to be warmed up, okay? So you don't have to do my warm up with me, but it's really important to make sure that you're warmed up before you begin the workout / stretching routine. So after our 5-minute warm up, we're going to go right into our beginner version of the workout. So if you are an absolute beginner or you're just incredibly inflexible, don't worry, I got you. We're gonna do a 5-minute beginner workout for people who lack flexibility entirely, okay? And then after we complete that, we're going to go right into a more advanced version of the workout. So if you do the beginner version of the workout with me and you feel that your muscles have loosened up a little bit, or you feel that you can handle more, you're welcome to stick around and basically do the exact same stretching routine over again, but just making the stretches a little bit more intense. So it's really important that you're working to your own level, okay? So please be smart, be safe, listen to your body, and don't push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. And definitely make sure that you are not pushing yourself too hard in these stretches. You might find that you can force your body into a certain position, but you might actually be able to make more progress, and the stretch might actually be a little bit more effective if it's a little more comfortable and you're not pushing yourself to your absolute limit. Okay, so please just make sure that you're working to your own level. So then after we have completed that more advanced, kind of more intense version of the workout, we will of course do our bonus burpee together, and then we'll do a quick cool down, and that's it. So if you're ready to begin the workout, grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, maybe a towel. Grab a chair or some other kind of strong, sturdy, stable, elevated surface if you are doing the beginner version of the workout with me. Also, if you are a beginner or you're super tight in your hamstrings, you might want to grab something like these seat cushions or a throw pillow or an aerobic step, yoga blocks. So anything that will enable you to kind of elevate your little booty off the ground a few inches. And then if you need to get dressed, go ahead and pause the video. Get dressed, meet me right back here. We're going to start with a quick 5-minute warm up, and then we'll get right into the beginner version of this workout / stretching routine. All right, so as soon as you're ready, let's get started with a quick 5-minute warm up. So you're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. You're going to place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure that your arm is completely relaxed. You're not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. You're just resting your arm there. The arm is relaxed, and it's just the weight of your arm that's gently stretching the opposite side of your neck. So you're just letting gravity do all of the work for this stretch. Switching sides. So allowing your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder, place your hand on your head and just rest it there. Next, we're just going to do some head rolls. So just start by allowing your chin to fall towards your chest and then to the opposite shoulder and back. Going back and forth. And if you want, you can roll your head all the way around to the back. Now shoulder rolls. So just rolling your shoulders to the back. And now to the front. Next, we're going to do arm circles. So extend your arms out to the side. We're going to start by making small circles, but gradually let's make our circles a little bit bigger, until finally we're exploring our full range of motion, making those circles as big as you possibly can. Now step your feet out so that they're a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to bend your knees. Sweep your hands down in front of you, and then as you straighten your legs, reaching up above, feeling that stretch. Each time you bend your knees, expand your range of motion just a little bit more, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now leave your legs right where they are. We're just gonna lunge side to side, nice and easy. Adding the arms if you want. So with each lunge, you're reaching across your body. Now step it in to the middle. We're just going to march. You can start with your knees low, but work on driving your knees up towards your chest as high as you can. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. And now we're just gonna do a nice light jog. If you want, you can start driving your knees up towards your chest, just like we did with our march, until you're driving your knees up as high as you can and doing high knees. But like I said, I want to keep it low intensity for me today. So I'm just keeping my jog nice and low. Now I'm doing booty kicks. So it's still just a nice light jog, but with each step, I'm bringing my foot up behind me, trying to kick myself in the booty cheek with my heel. Hold on to your chair for support if you need to. If not, you can have your hands on your hips. I'm gonna transfer my weight into one leg. Just pick up the other foot and I'm just swinging my leg front and back. Nice and easy. Loosening up this hip flexor, now switching sides. So transfer your weight, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Next, we're going to do hip circles. So you can keep this foot planted. Just take this leg, bend the knee, drive the knee up towards your chest as high as you can, and then just use your hand to kind of guide the knee around for a hip circle. Working on opening up those hip flexors in preparation for our expedited stretching routine. So other side. Drive the knee up as high as you can towards the chest, and then just use your hand to kind of guide it around. So typically we finish this final interval with a hamstring stretch, but that's how we're starting our stretching routine. So instead, just stretching out my shoulders a little bit, clasping my hands together, and lifting my arms as high as I can behind me. And that's it. That's our little 5-minute warm-up. So now we're going to go ahead and get right into the stretching routine, or a workout, whatever you want to call it. So my timer is just going to keep on counting 20-second intervals for me. We're going to hold each of these stretches for 20 seconds. So do your best to move as quickly as you can from one stretch to the next so that you get to hold that stretch for as long as you can. But we're starting with a hamstring stretch. So start with your chair in front of you, and now you're just going to lean forward, place your hands on the chair, and the thing that you want to pay attention to here is you want to try to keep your back as flat as you can. So don't allow your back to round. Tuck those shoulder blades into the back pockets. You want your back to stay as flat as possible. Now you're just going to pick up your chair and angle it to the side slightly, and do the same stretch, but this time you're focusing on just one side. So you're doing the same stretch, but your chair is towards one leg. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So move your chair in front of the opposite foot. Make sure you're continuing to focus on your breath. Lean into that chair and feel the stretch in this hamstring. Now we're going to do the middle stretch one more time. So chair in the middle. And now if you feel like your hamstrings are starting to loosen up a little bit, you can come down onto your elbows on the chair if you feel that you're ready. Next, we're going to move the chair out of the way and come down onto the mat for a straddle stretch. So as quickly as you can, keeping the knees bent. And if you want, you can kind of press out on your knees a little bit so that you feel that nice stretch in your groin. And now we're going to pick up one foot, bend the knee in. I'm going to twist my body so that my torso is over one leg. And keeping my back as flat as I can, I'm just going to reach forward, work to your own level. And now we're going to switch sides. So bend the other knee and bring it in, twist so that your body is over the opposite leg. Reach forward with your hands, grab a hold of your leg as low down as you can, and then lean over the leg, just keeping your back as flat as possible. And now one more time, middle stretch. So keeping the knees bent if you want. If you feel that you're starting to loosen up a little bit and you want to try to straighten the knees a little, you can do that. If you feel like you want to start trying to lean forward a little bit, you can do that. Next, we're going to do a butterfly stretch. So bring the feet in, press the bottoms of your feet together, grab a hold of your ankles, and use your elbows to try to push your knees down towards the mat. If you're up here, that's fine. But your goal is to get your knees down as close to the mat as you can. And now, it's okay to round your back here. Let your head kind of drop down and really kind of relax into this. This is one of the, maybe the only time I'm gonna tell you to go ahead and round your back for a stretch. And now you wanna try to flatten your back out as much as you can and reach forward. So you're keeping your back as flat as you can, continuing to press those knees down as much as you can. And just come forward in that stretch. Work to your own level. So now, next is our pike stretch. So if you're super tight in your hamstrings, it's going to help to elevate your booty a little bit. So you're just having your legs straight out in front of you. I have my toes pointed. Really stretch your feet. All right, and now to change it up a little bit and focus on those calves, Achilles, we're gonna flex our feet. Sitting up nice and tall if you can. If you cannot, it's okay to have your hands behind you to support you a little bit, but you want to have a nice flat back, sitting up nice and tall as high as you can. Now quickly, I'm gonna come down onto your back for another hamstring stretch. So pull that knee into your chest and then straighten the leg. Grab as low down on your leg as you need to. Bend the knee in again and straighten. Now switch legs. So bend this knee in towards the chest and then straighten the leg as straight as you can get it. And if you are able to grab your leg a little bit higher, you can do that. But you want to do your best to keep this leg super straight. Don't let it bend. And you guys, that's it. That is our 5-minute beginner stretching routine for those of you who are super duper tight and for those of you who lack flexibility entirely. That's it. So if you feel that you are capable of taking those stretches a bit further, then we're going to get rid of the chair. We're going to get rid of these little cushions, and we're basically going to do the entire routine over again, but we're just going to make it a little bit more intense. We're gonna see if we can get into those stretches a little bit deeper. All right, so if you feel like you're ready to take the stretches a little bit deeper, let's go ahead and get started on this more intense, more advanced version of the workout for those of you who have a little bit more flexibility. So we're starting with our hamstring stretch. I'm going to start with my feet wider apart than shoulder width, and now I'm going to bend down, keeping my back flat the entire time. Feeling that stretch in my hamstrings. And then we're going to do one leg at a time. So I'm just going to walk my hands towards one foot, staying down here in my stretch the entire time. And I'm just bringing my knee to touch my nose to touch my knee on this leg. Breathe, feel that stretch in the hamstring. Now we're going to walk our hands over to the other foot. I am far less flexible on this side, so I am bringing my nose to my knee, but it usually takes me a few extra seconds to get there. Just remember to make sure you're working to your own level and do not push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. There we go, finally got my nose to my knee. We're just gonna finish off this hamstring stretch by coming to the middle. See if you're able to get a little bit closer down to the ground so you can get your elbows down on your mat. Keep that back nice and flat. Now we're going to come down onto the mat for a straddle stretch. You don't have to have your legs super far apart. You don't have to be like a super wide straddle stretch unless that's easy for you to do. And so now I'm going to just shift so that I'm facing one leg. And I'm just going to fold over, slowly bringing my knee down, or my nose down to my knee. And now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So twisting this way so that I'm folding over the opposite leg. Working towards bringing my nose to my knee. And then one more time, we're gonna straddle stretch in the middle. So work on leaning forward a little bit. See if you can get your elbows down. Make sure you're keeping your back nice and flat. Feet together for a butterfly stretch. So beginning by just pressing your knees down towards the mat so you can grab a hold of your ankles and use your elbows to kind of press your knees down all the way to the mat. And now we're going to fold over. So I'm going to allow my back to arch, and I'm going to bring my head forward. If you can get it all the way down so that the crown of your head is actually resting on the mat, go for it. If not, just come as close as you can. And now we're going to flatten out the back and reach forward. So now I'm bringing my chest down to my feet. Make sure you're keeping your back as flat as you can. Here we're not trying to round the back. You want to keep it as flat as you can. So tuck those shoulder blades into the back pockets. Okay, quickly, we're going to do a pike stretch. So legs extended out in front of you, sitting up nice and tall. And then you can begin to lean forward if you're comfortable doing so. Again, working on getting your nose down to your knees. And now we're going to flex, getting a nice stretch all the way through our calves and Achilles, sitting up nice and tall. Lean forward and pull back on those feet. Really feel that stretch in your calves, Achilles. Now we're going to scooch forward a little bit, come down onto your back, straighten one leg, grab a hold of your ankle. You can grab lower down on your leg if you need to, and you're just going to gently pull that leg back. Trying to keep both legs as straight as you can. And now we're going to just finish up with that same stretch on the other leg. So straightening the leg, grab a hold of your ankle or lower on your leg if you need to. And work on just gently pulling that foot back behind your head, keeping both legs as straight as you can. I'm super tight on this side, so I'm just spending a few extra seconds here, but that's it. That is our 5 minutes. We did it. Nice job. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. If you are a beginner, I will walk you through how to do a beginner bonus burpee. So start by just standing in the middle of your mat. You're going to bend down and place your hands flat on the floor or the ground in front of you. Step your feet back so that you are in a plank position, and then put your knees down for a push-up. You don't have to include a push-up if you don't want to. You can eliminate it. Step the feet in and stand. Come up onto your toes if you can for a calf raise. And if you want and you're able to, you can add a little jump. If you are not a beginner and you would like to try to do the push-up from your toes, let's go ahead and do one final bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. So let's get up and move around, do a quick cool down together. It's important to take a couple of minutes after the workout to cool down. You just want to keep the circulation going while you allow your breathing to normalize and while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit. So let's just do a quick shoulder stretch, bringing the arm across your body and using your other arm to pull it in. Make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed. Make sure your shoulder is completely relaxed. If your shoulder's all tense and hunched up by your ear, you're not going to be able to get the benefits of the stretch. So let's get the other side. Bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Make sure that your shoulder is nice and relaxed. Your muscle needs to be loose and relaxed in order for you to be able to stretch it effectively. I always just kind of continue shifting my weight from foot to foot while I'm doing these light stretches during the cool down. So remember to keep moving. You can do what I do and just kind of shift your weight from foot to foot, or you can pace around, you can shake out the legs, but just keep moving and make sure you're continuing to focus on your breath. Do a quick tricep stretch, so bending one elbow, place your hand on the elbow and gently just pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Make sure that the hand, that your free hand right here is nice and relaxed. Your fingers should be pointing straight down at the ground, so make sure this hand is not hanging out up here somewhere. Point your fingers straight down at the ground. Relax the arm and just gently pull your elbow towards your shoulder, feeling a nice stretch in your triceps. Shake it out. We're gonna get the tricep on the other side, so same thing, bending the opposite arm, place your hand on your elbow and just gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Make sure that your free hand is nice and relaxed. Fingers are pointing straight down at the ground, and make sure you're focusing on your breathing. We're trying to slow down our breathing, so be deliberate with your breath. Take deep, slow, controlled breaths. And now we're going to finish up with a quad stretch. So if you need to grab your chair again, or if you want to stand by a wall, if you struggle with balance and you want to hold on to something for support, that's fine. Just going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands, and just press your heel into your booty cheek. As you're doing that, make sure you're focusing on your breath, of course, but also make sure that you're tucking your tailbone under, kind of tucking your booty underneath you. Think about trying to touch your spine with your belly button. And as you do that, you're continuing to press your heel into your booty cheek. As soon as you combine those two things, you're going to feel that stretch instantly intensify as you isolate that quad muscle a little more effectively. So now other side, bend the other knee, bring the foot behind you. Reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press your heel into your booty cheek. Tuck your tailbone under. Suck that belly button back towards your spine, and make sure you're continuing, as you do that, continuing to press your heel into your booty cheek. Feel that stretch, not only intensifying your quad muscle, but feel that stretch then continue all the way up to your hip flexor. One more time, just shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit. One more quick stretch to stretch the front of your shoulder. Just grabbing onto this post, you can put your hand in the doorway or on the wall, and then just kind of turning my body away to kind of stretch the front of my shoulder and to stretch my chest a little bit. Other side, so you can see I'm just putting my hand on this post and then turning away from the post. Feeling that nice stretch in the front of my shoulder and in my chest. And then I just want to finish by stretching my feet really quickly. This is one thing that I want to make sure you're doing every day when you do your stretching routine. Make sure that you're taking time to stretch your feet. This is something that is commonly overlooked, but you know that everything starts with your feet, okay? Having strong, healthy feet that continues all the way up through your legs, through your entire body. It all starts with strong, healthy feet. So make sure you're taking the time to stretch your feet. And that's it. That's our little cool down, and that's it. That is all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you would like to see more stretching routines in the future, maybe a longer stretching routine, I'm happy to share one with you. So just let me know if that's something that you're interested in. But I hope you found this useful today. I hope you appreciated the change of pace. So if you did this little 5-minute stretching routine with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately, and even if you're not doing the workouts, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. If you enjoy these little 5-minute workouts and you would like to see more of them, please remember that I have an entire playlist of 5-minute workouts on my channel. I will link it right there, and we will be continuing to do these 5-minute Fridays every week for the foreseeable future. So that means that I will be continuing to bring you at least one new 5-minute workout a week, every week for the foreseeable future. That is going to do it for today. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and I will see you all right back here on Monday. Bye.